What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back with the process for Wednesday, July 13th. We're starting it off right here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow this guy right here, Josh Engleman. That's me, at Josh Engleman on Twitter. That's the spot that you want to be. And then you should go and sign up at PrizePicks. You can see the banner below. You can see the banner above. Either way, use the promo code Awesemo when you sign up at PrizePicks so you can get a $100 match deposit bonus. Put in 50, they're only matching with 50. You don't get they're not giving you all sorts of extra bonus money. But if you put in 100, they will match with $100. Don't pass up that kind of deal. We have the free PrizePicks player prop tool at Stokastic.com. I promise you that will help you out. It will certainly make your decision process a little bit easier, and that's really all that you can ask for. Get a little bit of time back in your life. Not a lot to talk about for today. We're going to review how I did yesterday in baseball. We're going to take a look at today's baseball contest. It's not the best slate. It's not the best contest, but we're going to talk about it anyway because we don't ever stop playing. Also, make sure you're watching on the Odds Shopper channel. I am dropping a video Monday through Friday, so covering Tuesday through Saturday games, taking a look at the opening lines and if we could find any value very quickly that we can jump on. So that video is going up basically right around lock each night. Make sure you're checking it out. So one thing's for sure. Some of this data is going to be off a little bit. It looks like it's double counting for some reason. You know, it's showing the guys played 300 lineups. They obviously didn't unless they're former reality stars and their wives or something. But anyway, I thought I was going to get my clock cleaned. And I'll show you guys why quickly. I'm going to group this by team. And then we're going to go ahead and move team over here. And we're going to set this up to add my exposure. And as you can see, my highest exposed team, the New York Yankees. Wait, this must be counting. I didn't take Garrett Cole out. I was going to say, I know that that's not true, so let's go ahead and try to figure out why that's not true. I had this up and ready to go, and now somehow I've ruined it. I thought I filtered the pitchers out already. Evidently, I didn't, so I'm dumb. Here we go. I knew it wasn't the Yankees. Yeah, there we go. This makes much more sense. Most exposed team was the Padres, then the Toronto Blue Jays, then the Giants, which obviously worked out pretty well in the end. I had the Seattle Mariners as my fourth most exposed team last night. And honestly, fourth of five. Like, there's a pretty clear line drawn here. When that game got postponed early, I thought I was just dead in the water. That's straight bagels. But it's different when you're not stacking because you're basically getting, you know, like somebody in most of your lineups. You're like locking in zeros. So it makes it very difficult. Obviously, I also had some of Washington, but it didn't work out like that. So now I could take the team filter away and I could add back in the pitchers and show you guys what actually happened. I had 99% Garrett Cole. He was in 149 of 150 lineups. Obviously, that helped. He was the highest, well, technically second highest scoring pitcher yesterday, but I guess it was Bieber on an early slate. Is that why he's showing up here? But must have been. I don't know why Bieber's showing up there right now. It doesn't matter to me. I didn't play any early slates or anything. What matters is this. Garrett Cole had 35 fantasy points, and I had him in everything. That saved me from having the bagel from the Nats. And I could just show you guys the rest of the people that I had a lot of. I was relatively heavy on Dylan Cease, on Logan Webb, and Spencer Strider. So I basically went Cole, and then that 3-pack of 9K guys, Cease, Webb, Strider, split those guys, and then there was very little pitching exposure going to everybody else. And I talked to Adam about this a little bit yesterday, and it had been something that I had been throwing around, but I think with the way that I'm playing, given the fact that no one's going to be really coming in with my lineup construction, that I'm playing a more unique style for hitting, there's no reason for me to get to like non-opportune pitchers. Like, I want to jam Chuck. Like, I got to 10% of Luis Garcia yesterday. Not ideal, obviously. 4% of Sale, who was totally fine. There's not a lot of reason. Like, I'm not going to have any trouble getting at least 6 really good bats, no matter who I roster at pitcher. So why drop down to like a Jordan Lyles or Noah Syndergaard? Yeah, Syndergaard's probably like a decent example. Corey Kluber, Josiah Gray. Gray doesn't matter, obviously, for the fact that that game didn't exist, but I can jam in the pitchers that have like the best odds of scoring, 20 plus DK points, and then just pick the hitters that fit around that. It's not going to get me anywhere to hit on like 2% pitchers because I'm already unique enough at hitter. So I am jamming aggressively chalk, and I'm very happy with that. So ultimately, if we look at this, I ended up finishing right around 100th. It'll probably be easier to go do it this way. I'll just filter down to my lineups quickly. But finished 103rd, which was nice. But as you can see, also got to 300, 420, 449, 453, 585. So if we look at the Roto Trackers graph, we're just hopping back and forth for a second, crushed yesterday's slate. 12.7% of my lineups, 19 of the 150 lineups were in the top 5%. That is smashing. We smashed at 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30. We wrecked yesterday's slate. Just break that down. Look at this line right here. Let's see if we can get it. Boom. Every single one of these numbers in the top here. This is just a massive day. Now, we didn't get the true like separator from the pack. If we just look at lineups here, we had 2 lineups in the top 1%. I couldn't be happier with that outcome. We had a bunch in the 2%, a bunch in the 3%. If we're going to have that many lineups in the top 3% of the contest, I cannot complain. Ultimately ended up profitable yesterday. Profitable. $38. No, that's not right. So it's going to be half of that. So $19 to the good, I believe. I guess I can click here and we'll be able to see it. Yeah, 19 and a quarter to the good. And if you just wanted to look at the entries here, you can see which ones stacked up. 2 1%ers, bunch of 2%ers, bunch of 3%ers. But we had the one lineup that broke free, got to 191, and it had a 0 in it. And it had a 0 from a guy who, now, he got pinch hit for relatively early. They put up like 15 runs yesterday, 8 of them in the end of extra innings, but still, this bagel right here was enough to really change things for me. Not the best line out of Nola, who's, was a fantastic play. Would have loved to have a little bit of an upgrade here to see what we could do, but I'm more than happy with this lineup. It was the double 2-man stacks. You got 2 Giants and 2 Blue Jays. Technically speaking, we stacked Cease and Andrew Vaughn, but that's not really how this works. So ultimately, I'm very, very happy with the way that the lineup shook out and the profitability yesterday, considering we lost a game that made up a pretty sizable chunk of my exposure. There's not much else I can say here. I wish I could remove these duplicates somehow. I wonder if there's a way to do that in my, there's not, right? There's not going to be any way to just hide dupes. That can't be a thing. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this because I wanted to take a look at ownership and FC projections. I guess we could still kind of do it because I do have the relay throw open from yesterday. Nothing all that great, but I do have Adams exposures up and Steve's and Eddie's, both 60% on the Cole, so I'm sure that helped, but I don't think anybody had a truly exceptional day. What I did want to look at quickly before we get into the contest for today was just Adam's lineups. And as we look at Adam, who got to 1,000, not a great day for Adam yesterday. FC projection 116 to 131, but really it's more like 116 to 126. On my side, it's going to be a little bit blurry, but I get up to that same top score, 126. And if we just double the length, we're basically in the same range for FC projection. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that we've got this process dialed in now for no stacks. I think I've got my settings ready in Fantasy Cruncher. I'm feeling pretty good. Back-to-back positive days. Can we make it 3? Let's find out, because these are the contests that we're going to be looking at for today, and they're not great. They really aren't. You've got your standard issue relay throw. That's down to 250,000 today. The 4-seamer is a 30K contest. 2 days ago, that was a 50K contest. The smaller mini max is at 10K. That's what we're going to be getting into today. Best contest that you can enter on DraftKings continues to be the batter's eye and the relay throw. Unfortunately for you, that's going to cost you $2,500 to max it. I assume most of the people that are watching this are not maxing that contest. If you can max the knuckleball, go for it. That feels off. I don't think I have the right amount of lineups there. Knuckleball, 2378. Feels like I entered this incorrectly. I don't think that 6% of the entry fee, that seems high. It's usually, is the knuckleball less than 150? Yeah, 71 max today. I knew that looked weird. 71 max today on the knuckleball. I was just like, oh, there's no way you get 6% of the entries. They never do that. It can never be more than 3%. So fix that. That was just cosmetic. Get in the knuckleball if you can. Going to cost you $355 to max. Otherwise, you're either doing the mini max or the four seamer. If I didn't care about working on a process with no stacking, so when we get to August 1st, I will start entering the four seamer again because I think it's a better contest than the mini max. I like the higher payout structure at the top, but I will be getting into the mini max today. Not that one, the $75 max mini max. Not the best contest in the world from a payout structure. I wish that I can get in the $1, but we need to see some different results for that. You're getting 35% of the prize pool in the 50-cent mini max going out to the top 1%. It's 43% for the $1 mini max. To me, that's a pretty big difference. So I'm going mini max, and then like usual, we're going base hit and we're going chin music for $92 in entry fees for today. But again, if you can do it, get in the four seamer, and your first step after the four seamer should be the mini max. After the mini max, you would go to the knuckleball. That should be your progression. Now, we haven't ever really talked about like how much money you should have to do this. It's a lot more than you think. It all depends on like how much you care if you bust your bankroll. You know, if you're playing 10% of your bankroll in a night and you're entering the $1 mini max, it means you have $1,500 in your bankroll. That feels a little tight. I would say like 3,000 would probably be like a pretty good spot to start. Or in this case, you know, if you wanted to do 5% of your bankroll on a night, 1,500 to max the mini max, you feel pretty comfortable by the end of the season. We're going to talk about bankroll management type stuff as we move forward. I struggle to talk about that just because there's no right answer for everybody. The way that I feel about losing money is different than the way that you feel. The way that you feel for risk, it's completely up to you. So a lot of these discussions are risk tolerance, not like this is the best way to build a bankroll. But there are spots where I think that we could talk through at least a quick rule of thumb. But for now, that's everything, everybody. We are done the process for today. Back again tomorrow. We'll look at some MMA contests for this Saturday. These are the baseball contests, which we will review tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate having you guys here. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and thank you once again to PrizePicks.